Okay, now we're going to go over what to look for in your property. When we're looking at our properties or we're looking for our properties, the three things we want to keep in mind are location, the value of the property, and the amenities. The real answer to what I should look for in a property is, what do you want? This is why I put going over the comps before this lesson. When you know the area, what houses do what types of revenue, what the 90th to 75th and 50th percentile looks like, physically, and what type of amenities you have to have, their locations, then it becomes easy to know what you're looking for. For example, if I know that I want to be in Miami, Florida because it's booming there, and I know that every single house on the top properties tab in AirDNA or all BNB superhosts have pools, then I'm looking for something with a pool. If you are looking near a ski resort and the places that have hot tubs are charging an average of $75 a night more when the cost of entry is the same, guess what I'm going to be looking for? A hot tub. Why would you rent the same place out for the same price when one of them has an amenity that brings you more money and the other one doesn't? You need to know the market intimately to be able to make the best decisions. I'm not saying you need to do that to make any decision, but if you want to feel complete confidence and maximize your decisions, this is a necessity. Like I said, identifying a variable that allows for higher revenue given the same cost of entry or startup cost is a reward that you get just by knowing the market you're in and spending a little bit of extra time to know the market you're in. For this reason, I also recommend starting somewhere close to where you are so you can be present. When you are physically in the city and you see and you hear things that are little nuggets of gold, when you know what the top properties have in not just your market, but any market, you get ideas to supercharge your Airbnb that would have never been able to think of. I've seen properties operating in the highest tier just because the backyard has some mulch and gravel and a walkway with a hammock chair on it and an awning. And that's not an expensive upgrade. It's just an upgrade that someone made to provide an amenity and drive up the value. Knowing that, you may be looking for a backyard where you can do something very similar and cost effective to boost your revenue in a similar way. We know that the data, and we take in as much as possible so we can then use our discernment, our own personal thoughts to come to the decision on what is best for the situation. But we have to have the data in the first place. So as you can see, as we're going through this, I'm very big on collecting the data, collecting the information so you can make these decisions. I can't make good decisions for you. What I can teach you is it's very important to collect a lot of the data and organize it so you can refer to it and sift through it yourself. And you're not relying on a computer to tell you the data. When you physically understand it, and especially if it's in your backyard and you can drive around the town and you know it's in the town because you live there, then you know more so what's going to work and not going to work. That being said, some amenities are always going to be gold. Pools, hot tubs, beachfront, ski slopeside, heart of downtown, ping pong tables, pools, volleyball nets, bikes. If you have bikes in the garage for people, you can have boats in the garage for people. You can have paddle boards if you're by the water. Whatever it is that you're providing for these people, all of those amenities go a long way. Anything that you can do that you can leave there, such as something like that, someone is going to use and you're going to get some good reviews for that. I have kayaks at one of my properties with roof racks for the cars and the oars. So anyone who's coming up has everything they need to go to the lake and use a kayak. That's a good amenity. That's something that sets you apart from somebody else. I'm never going to sit here and tell you every single amenity to use because that depends on what you want and who your audience is and what is currently working. In the next lesson called Know Your Audience, you're going to gain a better understanding of knowing what to look for to meet the specific needs of the people that you're trying to house. A lot of the time, I focus more on finding the property or opportunity that will accept my business model and then determine if the area and the property are the right one to get me the numbers that I need to proceed. In that case, the only thing you would be looking for in your property is an area where B&B would work financially and the landlord or the owner accepts our model. Most of the times, if you can find someone that accepts our model, that is willing to let you do the B&B model out of their, rent to re-rent, a landlord that's willing to accept that, most of the times the property will work. So I recommend finding the person who's going to allow you to do that first, and then using these methods to determine if this is a viable option. It's much better to do it that way because otherwise you're going to waste your time running numbers on tens of properties and you don't even know if they're going to let you come in there and run your model. So figure out who's going to let you run the model first and then determine if that's a property that works financially. When you're buying and it's not arbitrage, the goal is to maximize our dollars spent. So it may take more research and plugging in different scenarios on different properties before you know which property will produce the best. But oftentimes this is not clear until I run the numbers on 5 to 10 properties. I constantly have new conditions or cognitions and times when I thought the best property would be and it's not. And that was a 5-minute video. I think I got to re-record. How do you feel about that?